So for the sake of completion, I'll just go and solve the issue that we had. Okay, so what I need to do is see where, let me just get rid of the server that we're running in the background. Okay, so what I need to do is look for when this check network interface is up for development is actually called or done. Okay, so in our target, what we did were two things. We said we do not want to modify, we do not want to have this check network interface is up for development before doing other things, and it was indeed done like in the initramfs reach root fs environment. So what I'm going to do is get rid of it right here, okay, and actually use it only when networking is required. So I'm taking this off. You could export whatever is here, but it's fine. And what we will do in addition to it is look at like the state machine. Like my files are in target files, and then like I pack the tarball and put like the installation instructions that we already saw when we stopped at the run disk, or initramfs. So I'm going to go to the state machine, but I just want to show you like where the state machine happens. So we have like the state machine main here, and if we look at it, then we can see that we have several states. If we're in idle state, we do everything. If we're in download, we do download, and then we do all kind of things that do not require networking, like if we're download and verifying, and so on and so forth. So we can see that like the error states, they do not require networking. Awaiting reboot or pending reflash, if we have like a server, maybe we did networking, but like for the reflash verification and all these other things that you are welcome to look at, there I have like the talks on OTA where I covered like everything. Then this probably do not need like networking, okay? So if I'm like verifying, then I probably do not need networking, okay? So the thing is that let's look at like the do it all function, for example, okay? Like that we have like in the idle, it will do the downloading and like everything. It includes other states. So do it all, it checks for updates, downloads, verifies, unpack, post unpack, and so on. So check for updates definitely require network, so let's have a look at this. It calls like another function, check for updates. Now here we have check update manifest, and I'm already giving the solution, like this is part of like exercise that I used to be giving, and sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It got committed. Look what's happening here in check update manifest. It's also like with the shell scripting materials that are being like taught. So this one runs in a sub shell, okay? This check update manifest. It's not curled braces like these ones, but it's like round braces, regular braces. So parentheses. So the thing is that here we do like this development hack, okay? Like we check, hey, if a URL OTA manifest, this is where, hey, we do not need it. Why did we not need it? Because I had it in the initialization, but the initialization did this development hack prior to even doing any of the OTA state logic that we covered before. So what we're going to do here is something a little bit different. Now, if we uncommented the lines of like the check network interface is up like before, what we saw in the videos were that we get the manifest correctly, but the URL did not get processed. Now the question is what exactly happened there. So the thing is that the blob URL itself, it depended on the URL on the base URL manifest, okay? On the base URL, URL OTA server base. So if this was set in a subshell, then only the subshell will know its values. This is why it remained empty. So what we need to do is not put it in a subshell, okay? So whatever happens here, if the function was indeed called, then it will be set properly, everything will be nice, we'll get the manifest, which we did, we saw it. But then after we exit the subshell, nobody will know it. So what we're going to do is take this logic and put it, let's also take this opportunity to get rid of the spaces, and we will put it but the digit's not being implemented. It's super being implemented, but I left like a file okay, it is actually not implemented in this one. Forget about it. Other things that we do things like completely with encrypting, with verifying integrity, then it is implemented. Forget, strike this last line. Okay, so I cut these things, and in check for updates before calling this function that is in a subshell, as you can see, I am going to do this. So if we don't have like the URL manifest, then I'm going to keep like this warning, it's fine. And what I'm going to do is get rid of this. Now, so I said that we do need it. I said I don't think I need it because I added things like the initialization to avoid all kind of like repeating wording errors and so on. It is fine. So let's read this properly. This also sets the URL OTA manifest, which is our objective for here as well. If there is no network, it will wait. We're just failing and waiting for the next response of the service, which is just fine. And this is what I would always do. Because, okay, no network, go to sleep. On the next time, like the service needs to respond, like on system D, for example, if there is like a timeout, then no problem. But here I added this to actually keep the service up, and this would be the solution. So it's done, we're good. Let's look at the difference. This is the difference. We even took off the white space. I will add the modifications here. Okay, we also removed from the OTA radius defs. Now I can build it and serve it, okay? No problem with it. Or I can just rebuild everything like once again. So for the sake of completion, I'm going to build exactly the way that I built before. It's like the wrapper all arcs that in the README I recommend to look. I just did one arc, which is like x86, and that's what I'm going to run. So it's actually going to be pretty fast. I mean, there is like the merge config like in the kernel, so it may take a little bit time, and then it will figure out it doesn't need anything. Some ROTFS stuff, everything is cached, there's not supposed to be a problem. And then the thing that would dominate most of the time in the preparation is creating the image. So if the image is like very big, then it's one thing, otherwise it's other thing. Compressing like this OTA tarball and recovery tarball, and the things that I believe are covered in another video are super covered in the documentation, are extra mega covered in the training. I had to sip some coffee here. And so it actually, I'm leaving it, the video as is, to show you like how much time it takes, like when it takes a lot of time, and it's not a lot of time. I mean, it will be just fine. And it also built the OTA tarball somewhere here, like when we build like the root file system. So I'm not exactly sure where it is. I mean, I don't remember, but if we look for it, we will find it. Like before preparing the tarball, it should. I mean, it's supposed to be like creating in calling another layer like for the like OTA. So yeah, I saw target files, so it was supposed to be this one. Let's see, where were you? Yeah, adding out of 3 OTA code. So this is like the tarball, okay, and we copy it like to the overlay, which will make the installer like install it. It's still packing it, okay, but you got an explanation while we're at it. We can see that this is like the tape, and basically this is what we last created like the other time when we ran like our own script. The working directory of it will be in the temp. I don't really use temp many times when there are like big files. I by default I put some files under PscgBuildOS and either temp or out, another temp or temp but persistent. Yeah, so OTA build, OTA target files. So this is where we see what we sorry, these are the target files, and there is like the tarball itself. So this is where we say what we had, which is this one. Okay. Now I hear that my that the computer fan stopped doing like vroom, so I assume that the build finished. The tarball compression finished. This is why I mean it was working hard, or perhaps the video, but I think the video is still recording. And yeah, so let's get to the build. It succeeded. We're happy, and like the mechanism that I had like before with removable media, let's go ahead and do it. So now we'll not stop it around disk. I will just run this exercise. I don't know if you can hear this amazing voice saying like flashing A only and stuff like that, but if you run it yourself you will hear that. So we have this one. Let's go ahead and remove the installation media. So let's run this. You see network online target because we did not stop and modify like the installer as in the previous time. So now we can do journal control. I think dash output cut will be nicer because we'll have colors. Dash U OTA dash F, and I mean it can't get the manifest because we're not serving it. So what we're going to do is we're going to serve it again. Okay, this is like exactly like from the readme. So I'm doing this. Also have like in the flash example how to use like notify send, and we can wait 60 seconds and then it will serve itself, or alternatively I don't think we need to wait 60 seconds anymore. It will happen like any time. Whoops. Yeah, so you see, and now because of the colors of the journal control colors, like we didn't see like some of the things which I was surprising like one of the previous videos. So yeah, I can make an LS for that, and it worked, and we're good, and everyone is happy. And we start checking for the network only when we need to check for the network. So if I want to do like an A/B update, even if there is no network, then it will work pretty nicely. So you know what, just for fun, let's sort of do this as well. So if I don't do installer A only, it will do an A/B update. This is how so if you hear like, it's me saying A/B flashing from removable media. So network target, this is like my my target, and I believe that so look at it, like retired system, system PscG candidate, blah blah blah. This is like when booting, and we can see what the state is currently. So let's do system control status, journal control -u OTA -f output cat, and it's like seeing that everything here is like fine. It's finalizing the state, it's setting the state to idle. Okay, so this is like how we booted things here. We connected, we did all kind of things, we could be happy with it. Okay, if we look at the state, then it will be idle. Now it already tried to get like another round, which is pretty nice. It's okay, I'll get rid of it. I'll do a little sync just for fun. I'm logging out, and these are like the system partition and labels, which is pretty good. It tells me like what was before, what was like the candidate when I was booting it, and if I go and reboot again, but I need to be a little bit careful about it, because I have the removable media here, right? This is like the trick that I done. So if I have several reboots, then it's not like a big deal, it's not like an issue. And there is like a counter to say how many times to reboot and do some sanity checks before each reboot, before I declare that the image is good. So let's put a password. So I just put it like to like the minimum one, and look, after reboot, look at like this log. This is just for like illustration. So it says like a retired system yada yada yada. It recognizes that in the previous boot that we had, it was a candidate situation. Okay, it was still but a candidate. So this is like in the OTA code. Here we can see retired system PscG can. This is like how we boot it, like this boot like as a candidate, and everything is just fine. And this actually comes from the message of the day somewhere. So yeah, so version and stats, and then we'll have like these things. Let's edit it. So we can see like so we have all kind of like trickery. I will not get into it like in this video. Okay, we have like the overlay FS, if it's like writable, if it's not, what kind of state for a candidate, what are like the device ID, and there's something like quite interesting and important here. Like we do the relabeling of some let's see. So we have the relabeling. You see like this retired system PscG can, and so on. Okay, so we have this as part. After we decide, okay, this is like the good image, then we do this relabeling. We relabel with Tune2FS, like the file system, and so on. So this is why we have like those prints. Okay, and this is why like the root file system would need like Tune2FS, like for the PscgBuildOS or like the Alpine PscG Alpine OS. We put it, and we do this only upon successful update. So that's pretty nice. Okay, and OTA completed, depending on like the number of like reboot we need to say that it's completed successfully, and so on and so forth. This is like a counter for max success, and you will have something like this at every update system if it is robust. Now, in each update system, you need to understand the shenanigans. You need to see if the rootfs sets things, or the bootloader or whatever, and that's it. So I just wanted to show like the solution, but you also picked a couple of other things on the OTA while at it. So discovered, and also like this, and also like other serious over-the-air update mechanisms that a lot of people use, like in the market, are covered in my courses. But when I cover something, I cover something. So it's not like a couple of minutes. I'm sure you said, oh, those videos are long, especially since you don't see my pretty or not so pretty according to some people's face. But you need time, you need patience, you need to be rigorous. Like this is by far one of the things that go wrong, and go wrong really badly, like on the field, if people just skip, being like orthodox and maybe even crazy about testing. Okay. So yeah, this is why, if somebody wants to even implement like an OTA system that is already ready, everything is ready, even if you don't do anything, probably need a good couple of weeks of testing and of work. So if you are a non-technical manager that says, hey, why are these guys, not me necessarily, charging me for so much, it's supposed to be 1 second work, and this is the answer. Anyway, that's it. If you liked it, let me know. I never say it, but everybody always say it in those videos. And if you saw all the videos, I recorded the other ones before eating. I drank coffee, but I didn't eat anything. Apparently eating really helps. It's not only about the coffee. And on this one I was like much more fresh. So that's it. Enjoy.